and they sent on their way. But slow to begin was Learn by Heart, gave away a couple of lengths. Zaman ridden at to get forward. Global Storm is handy enough. Master Bloom handy enough. Kingswear also making a nuisance of itself in and amongst that leading group and will punch its way through and get to the lead. Record Man is stuck out deep. Even deeper is Global Heat in the red cap. Then Volcanic Sky in the blue body and green cap, joined by Island Brave. Then comes Bin Batuta, who's racing against the rail. Majestic Mambo just ran onto heels of horses ahead. Takaria is in the red and black colours. Then comes Gabar, who finds itself behind midfield. Brilliant Light is also quite some way back. Aleniac a little bit closer than normal, then a length away to Learn by Heart, who races out at the end of the field. They're quite well compact onto the back straight, and it's Kingswear who sets the pace and got it by half a length. Zaman races away in second. Global Storm in third. Master Bloom is in the check sleeves and the check cap, sharing that position, and about a length and a half behind the leader. Then comes Island Brave, that's in the navy blue colours. In and amongst runners, there's no pace on. Record Man is exposed at the outside, but has a few options. Global Storm again is against the rail. That's in the blue jacket and the black cap. Then a length away to Bin Batuta in the all blue. Takaria is just getting bounced around, and that's exactly midfield. Volcanic Sky is in the green cap, racing quite deep. Even deeper out is Global Heat, and that had no luck in running. Continues to be exposed. Gabar, Majestic Mambo are the next two. Then we go half a length away to Brilliant Light. Aleniac not quite getting the pace he would have wished for. He comes down the corner of the track, racing about 9 lengths off the leader, and then comes Learn by Heart, who is the trailer, and they've got about 900 metres left to go. Kingswear now taken on by Zaman. Then comes Record Man, the yellow jacket and red cap, only a length off the leader. Island Brave continues to gain some ground. Then comes Global Heat in the red cap, tracking Record Man's every move. Further back then towards the inside is Global Storm. Volcanic Sky going to work into the open at the top of the straight. Then comes Gabar. Further back and running then we find the likes of Brilliant Light, who's also been working a bit closer. Aleniac, Majestic Mambo, Bin Batuta all further back. They homeward bound, and nearest us Global Heat started to pick them off and has now picked up the lead. Volcanic Sky is second. Then comes Zaman. Bin Batuta extreme inside. Then in between runners Global Storm tries to get into the hunt as well. Aleniac nearest us is also doing some good late work. Bin Batuta is the one in front over towards the inside. Global Storm, Aleniac, Majestic Mambo, but it goes to Global Storm. Aleniac second, then came Volcanic Sky. Majestic Mambo ran fourth. They were ahead of towards the inside Bin Batuta. Out after those was Global Heat. Island Brave was next to finish. Master Bloom, then came Record Man. Takaria was towards the outside with Brilliant Light. Learn by Heart was out after those with Kingswear and Gabar.
So it's victory for Godolphin. Global Storm coming late in the hands of William Buick to deny Aleniac, who ran another cracking race for Saffy Osborne. Jamie Osborne third will go the way of Volcanic Sky. Fourth, Majestic Mambo, and the far side Bin Batuta has bounced back to form on his second start, returning from a break. I didn't think this horse was particularly flashy, but he'd been running in some good handicaps back in the UK, and in what was a bit of an attritional race in the end. Global Storm just had that bid in hand at the end under William Buick.
Yeah, I mean, when Charlie brings him here and drops him in class, then you really should take notice. And even though it doesn't seem like it was too much of a drop, it really was. The horses, like you mentioned, he's facing are some of the best stayers in Europe.
I mean, he'd finished behind Island Brave, for example, in a Haydock handicap, and that horse wasn't sighted here. It just goes to prove how dominant Godolphin are here, Laura.
Oh, the market got this one completely right, didn't it? I mean, I looked at it and thought, well, is this horse favourite? It's been quite well beaten recently. William Buick was on him. That was a big clue. Kingswear, some classy form, despite the fact he was coming back off a layoff. And I'm not sure of the strength of this. They crawled and then they sort of sprinted, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get overly carried away with it. But poor Aleniac, how much better can this horse run without winning? I'm hoping he's done enough to earn himself an invitation into the Gold Cup. 'Cause it's only Group 2, so low hundreds will probably get you in it. And I'm sure they'd stick around for it if they were to get that.
It's difficult for him because obviously the Nadal Shiba Trophy's next week, so he'd have almost been better served going to that if he wanted to get a rating qualify, high enough to qualify. But look, yeah, he's run 3 cracking races now. Hopefully the handicapper sticks him up a couple of pounds for that, which would get him a run, and the longer distance of the Dubai Gold Cup is most definitely going to suit him. Not that the mile and a half today was an inconvenience in the end, Mikey, because he actually came there to win his race, with plenty of chance.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, the race, they kind of went a bit of a crawl out there, and it became not so much a stayers race that he would prefer, but really just whoever had the best turn of foot in the end. And he still has that. And he was close enough, whole lot closer because of that pace. It somehow worked to his favor, where he was able to stay a lot more close than he was before.
Yeah, he was winning at the 16th attempt. 4 victories now in those 16 starts. Had one start here at the UAE last year where he was unsuccessful, but he's risen in the weights since then and proving that he is mildly progressive, if no real star in the making. Volcanic Sky had every chance. Majestic Mambo has stuck to his task. Bin Battuta, they might be persuaded to bring him back here as a 9-year-old to see if they can win with him fresh, but he's gone well today. A couple of disappointments, notably Kingsware. He was dictating that pace. Any sort of idea visually as to why he'd have dropped away?
I honestly just didn't seem like he was that comfortable leading. I don't know if it was the surface. He was coming off all weather. To me, I would just give him another shot at it. I would be surprised if he needed the run. Yeah,
potentially, and it's been pretty quick out there the last few meetings, whether that has impacted upon him as well. Obviously, again, not the most durable, being a 5-year-old, only having had the 4 starts up until tonight, and was unable to stick around at the business end of the race. But this horse most certainly was another winner for Charlie Appleby, who, as you can see, is in attendance tonight. Pretty important night, I suppose, for him, really. Rebels Romance, his only World Cup hope, going on trial of sorts.
Yeah. I suppose he is, isn't he? Desert Peace doesn't look like he will make it. He potentially could have made it at the start of the season. I mean, Dubai's not going to be going anywhere fancy at his age, but it's probably a horse that's been in the yard for 5-6 years you'd have a bit of a soft spot for, wouldn't you? And I wonder as well if he's in the country party to oversee final works for Saudi or late, maybe penultimate works for Saudi as well. And, every day's an exciting one for Charlie at the moment, isn't it? Eclipse Awards one day, nominations for big races the next day, Maydan winners the next day.
Although he did have 3 in a Newcastle Maiden last night and was beaten.
I saw that, yeah. One of them cost a fortune, but you can't win them all.
No. Take it from the start then, and one of the horses that was slowly away, Learned by Heart, I think was out the back. Alignac was dropped out, as is his wont. There you can see Kingsware at the head of affairs. Fairly well bunched fields. He would eventually be pressed by Zaman, who would go up on his outside, but there was no real urgency you didn't feel during the early stages.
Yeah, the fact that Alignac and Learn by Heart were in touch with the field at this point, which is probably a dead sign that the pace was dead. And, I mean, all of their necks are bowed. Nobody's really moving at all here. I don't think that really suited. I mean, I know it was his first turf try, but Kingsware just really didn't suit him. I know he's in the front and he's barely moving at all. I think a big horse like him probably needs a target.
Yeah, and you can see the eventual winner's got that perfect position on the rail that we've become accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, and that's also kind of what we're expecting. If that might have been what Kingsware was supposed to do, is just go to the front, set an easy tempo, and be the target for the eventual winner, his stablemate.
Yeah, the eventual winner in that black cap in around about 3rd position at the moment. Bin Battuta follows him through on the rail. The red cap of Global Heat in midfield. Volcanic Sky in the green caps has had to come from a bit further back and perhaps a bit wider, which may just have contributed to him finding things tough in that final half furlong. We'll follow his passage through, but as things stand, William Buick on Global Storm is getting the perfect track through. Zaman probably felt Ray Dawson was a bit closer to the pace than he would have wished for. Island Brave tracked him. Gabba in the colours of Shadwell, he would eventually finish right at the back, and
he was basically eased at the end.
Yeah, I don't think the trip could solely be to blame for him, but it's about here where William Buick maybe just gets a little bit anxious as to whether the gaps are going to appear, but then Kingsware does fade rather tame. He just has to switch there, just as the horse in the red cap, that one being Global Heat, makes his move, as indeed does Volcanic Sky. And with these stayers, there's always that wariness of how quickly they're going to build up the momentum, but he did, quickly got to the front, took half a length out of them, and maintained that half a length advantage right to the line.
Yeah, I feel bad for Alignac there, even though I said I couldn't win. I didn't think I felt bad because at the about midpoint of the stretch, I was eating my words. I was like, he's gonna prove me wrong here. Well, but